Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. This is a guide I wrote in response to someone else asking on forum that they're lost and they need help for new players. So I decided to do a series of video that will potentially help new players coming into the game, or people who have quit the game in the past and making a comeback. There's gonna be 7 videos to begin with, and I might add more as we go along. For this video, I'm just going to be covering the class information and skill selection. Now, there are 3 different classes. Rogue, they're the most versatile class in my opinion. You put all your points into Dex. They have decent HP and armor. They excel at doing damage, and they have the highest critical hits. Critical hit basically means there is a modifier for the damage you do, and if it's a critical shot, that modifier gets applied, and that modifier is based on your other gears, pets, awakening, and all that kind of stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it for now. Other things, they have really low mana, but this you can overcome this by buying mana and health potions from Guildhall. They're really cheap, but the gear cost is high. This class is favored pretty much in all parties because they do a lot of damage, especially to bosses. Now the next class is Mage. Mage is basically the sorcerer who does a lot of grouped mob damage. So you put all your attributes into intelligence. You will have low HP and low armor but as I said before, they excel at doing large damage. They have a really powerful spells and magic, and their mana is really high as well. Their critical hits and dodge are relatively low. The gear cost is average and very easy to play this character. So if you're starting out, this will probably be your choice of class, but it does mean that you will die quite a bit, especially if warrior isn't good. So with warrior, this is the hardest class and requires a lot of skill, I think. You put all your attributes into strength, and this in turn gives them really high health points and armor. They excel at keeping the party alive and absorbing all the damage. They're like the punching bag, and they basically mean that you aren't meant to do a lot of damage, so don't go for damage. Just try selecting your skills in a way that you can keep your party alive so they can do the damage, and you just keep them alive. You're meant to tank. That's the purpose of this character class. They have low crits and dodge, and their mana is rather low, but as I said before, you can use the potions. As for the skill guide, there is a rogue's skill guide. All of these threads are written by me, by the way, so I know that they're tested and guaranteed to work. Now, for obtaining, you can respec your skills anytime. At the start, most people don't have a very good idea on which skills to select and stuff, but I made a guide for you guys so you can get right into it. Firstly, you can respect your skills anytime using your respect roles. Make sure you put all your attributes point to the respective class attribute. For rogues, that's dex. For mage, it's intelligence, and for warrior, it's strength. Now you can purchase this directly from the store for 25 platinum. I wouldn't recommend that. Instead, what I would suggest you do is go to auction, go to chest section, and in the search box write silver runner or gold runner, and then you can buy the cheapest ones and go to your inventory, open them, and you will randomly be awarded the respect rolls, which you can use to get to reset your skills. Now, there are sometimes weekly events where bosses killed will randomly drops this, but this is rare. It happens few times a year, so I wouldn't suggest it. As for the skills, there is 2 build I wrote for you guys. One, this is the skill for rogue. I talk about the skills you should go for, how many upgrades you need, which upgrade to exclude, the passive. So you're gonna get all passives for rogue except knowledge and movement. They're not really needed. And which skills you should master. I haven't added the ultimates because you can just test that one out and see which one you like the best. It just depends on personal preference. This is for killing mobs and range DPS. I'd recommend this for the people starting the game. And this is for elite runs when you hit max level. Personally, haven't wrote a skill guide for mage, but if you're someone who is willing to do that, be happy to. I don't know when I'll be doing it because I haven't played mage in a while, so I need to play that again to actually get a better idea of it. As for the build guide for warrior, all of this information on the top is same. One another thing I want to add is always charge your skills, because charging your skills increases the strength and duration of your skill. Now this build 1 is for tanking. I did that because this skill you use to provide health and a shield if it's fully upgraded. This skill does damage. This skill will what this skill is a bit hard to explain, but what it will basically do is when bosses damage you, it will take the damage and turn that into your health. It will take the damage and turn it into health, but not full health. A proportion of the damage dealt to you will be converted into health, so you won't die from this. And if you fully master the Horn of Renew, it will attract all the mobs to attack you. So if you use this, you will heal and it will give you a shield, and it will all the mobs will target you. When they're all targeting you, you use this skill to do damage to them, and then you quickly do this skill to so when this shield runs out, the damage they're doing to you becomes health, so you don't die. And lastly, then you do the windmill, which basically means you do more damage to them again. So you do one skill for survival and health, one skill for doing damage, one skill for survival and health again, and then you do them in the exact order of it. And this is the most effective way I know that works really well. If you think otherwise, do let me know. Or go for all passives except critical and movement, because you won't really need to run back if you don't die. Upgrade these 2 skills for full, and this is one for PvP, but I personally don't PvP, so I can't obviously be 100% giving you PvP tips, but this one does tend to work pretty well as far as I'm aware. Anyway, this is all for this video. In the next video, I'll be talking about the leveling guide. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.